Hello YouTube. So, as we saw in my thrift haul video recently, I got a PS3. And now I actually have two PS3s. I'm intending to sell one of them, but I had a problem. The hard drive in this is dead. So I thought, why not make a video about, first of all, how to back up your data from a PS3. Now the hard drive is completely dead in this one, the new one I got, so we can't actually do that. But what I'm thinking is I'm gonna take the hard drive out of my current PS3. So I want to back that up, the data up, and then move that into the one I want to sell, because I actually think I want a larger hard drive in my current PS3. So let's have a quick look at how to back up the data, how to physically remove and install a new hard drive, and how to then actually install the operating system for the PS3 onto a new hard drive. Because if you get a blank hard drive, well, the PS3 will complain. But any actual 2.5 inch hard drive will pretty much work, even SSDs, which is what I'm going to test this on today. So first of all, let's turn on the old PS3, and then I want to back up my data. And what we want to do is go into, if I can turn my controller on, there we go. We want to, what I want to back up is my save games. So we go into game, and we go into save data utility, it should be, yeah. And we select one of these. And press the triangle for options. And we say we want to copy multiple. This is even showing up on, it looks kind of funny on my camera. I think you can see it. Copy multiple, so we go into that. Then we have all the save games, and actually not even just save games, login information, settings, and everything that's relevant for my user on this PS3, more or less. The important bits anyway. So we're going to say select all. And you can see it selected everything in the list except these backups for the most part. I'm not sure why there's so many Mass Effect stuff it didn't select. We selected everything that's actually interesting to save. So we've got the Gran Turismo saves, we've got The Last of Us, we've got The Bureau, Tokyo Jungle. So we're going to say OK. Then we have, if we have the, what is it called, the PSN Plus membership package, we could actually use cloud storage. But you can also just use a USB device. So I actually have a USB stick plugged into one of the USB ports. And there's 14 gigabytes free, so we're just going to select that device. And we'll see, we start copying. So when this is done, we'll have a copy of all our save games on the PS3. So I can stick this USB stick into pretty much any there we go, any PS3 with the same games, and then I can restore my save games and continue where I left off. So that's step one. Now we need to have a look at the other PS3, which we have down here. Let's zoom out. Okay. So, and here's the USB stick I just pulled. Now let's have a look at what's actually wrong with this. So we hook this one up instead. And before I turn it on, just remove my mic here and hold that up close to the PlayStation as I turn it on, and then you'll probably hear what the problem is. It's trying to boot. Nothing yet. Actually today it doesn't sound as bad as the day I got it. But it is clicking quite a lot. So let me just hook up the controller. Oh, I think I missed it. Right as I clicked that PS... so I think I missed it. But right as I click the PS button there, it you hear the hard drive making some violent clicks, which is obviously not good. We may get another chance here. Unfortunately not. Anyway, the hard drive is fucked. Okay, so we're almost done here, but it's really struggling right now. I hear the hard disk clicking every now and then, and since 89% it's been really slow, so I think this hard disk is definitely struggling. But let's just have a look at how to actually remove a hard drive from one of these. So we'll let that one sit and see if it actually completes, and then have a look at the other one. So this is the slim model. There's also the super slim and the original fat models. This one is really easy to remove the hard drive. I remember it being a little bit harder in the fat model. I'm not sure about the super slim, but like I said earlier, it's just a 2.5 inch drive, so it should be fairly straightforward. If to remove it, you just need to turn it around, and then right here you'll see a small cover. You can pop that out just with a nail, or if it's in too tight, you can just use a flathead screwdriver. It should do the trick. If you remove that, you'll find a screw, and it's a blue screw. I think that's meant to signify that it's a user serviceable part, so you're allowed to remove this without warranty or anything. You remove the screw, then there's a cover on the front here. You can just slide that like 3-4 millimeters to the side, and then you can remove it. Then there's a caddy in here, this gray metal part, which you can hardly see in the camera, but this pulls out like so, and there we have the hard drive. This is actually a Hitachi drive. As far as I remember, it's a Toshiba drive in the other one, so they may differ a bit. But now it's just a simple matter of removing these 4 screws at the bottom, and then sticking in your new disk, putting it back in, and you're good to go to install the operating system. So we remove our screws, and then we take our new drive, which I have here off to the side. And I'm not going to stick this drive I have here in permanently. Now you see the screws removed, this just lifts out. So I'm actually sticking an SSD in this one. I'm not going to keep this in here. I think I want to get a new larger hard drive, like a 1 terabyte drive or something, to put in it. And then I'm going to take the old drive, stick it in the one that has the faulty drive right now, and then sell it with this. Even if it completes the installation here, I'll still change the drive. I wouldn't be comfortable selling this with a potentially bad drive. So you stick that in, screw it in. I'm not even going to screw it in this time. I'm just going to stick it back in if I can. Because we're just trying to demonstrate. That didn't work. I do need at least 1 screw, otherwise this won't line up in the back. So I think if I just put a screw in one corner here, I can probably get away with it, since this is meant to be temporary. There we go. You put the sliding cover back on, put the screw in, close the cover, and you're good to go with your new drive. And like I said, or did I say? But this crashed. So yeah, that drive is dead. So let's try installing it, the operating system on this one down here with the SSD. So all we do is we take our USB drive. Again, read the description to know how to set up the drive for this task. It should be FAT32 format, and then you need the update ROM or installation file in a certain folder on the drive for the PlayStation to be able to find it. So stick that in. Now, because it doesn't have an operating system, also means it doesn't remember any paired controllers, so you need the USB cable going to the controller in order to be able to connect to it. So we're gonna shut this off, the other one off, and turn this one on. And then I'll remember to film the screen this time. There we go. Push the button, and we go up here to the screen. And now we'll try to read from this new hard disk, but it won't be able to. So we get this menu telling us that we can either try restarting the system, or we can try restoring the system partition from a external storage media. So to do this, we just press start and select, or well, select and start at the same time. It'll check the USB stick, and if it finds the update data, we should be greeted with a progress bar, I think. We'll just give it a few more seconds. I think it's verifying the file on the USB stick with a checksum or something to make sure it's you're not trying to put on a hacked firmware or anything. And do I actually have... I had a disk in there. I was wondering why I was making those noises. I'll just put that away. It's still checking. It takes a while, obviously depending on the speed of your USB stick and so on. But because we put in an SSD, when it's done this checking phase, then we should be able to, well, it should be fairly rapid. So now the system position of the system storage will be formatted. During the format operation, all data on the system storage will be deleted, yada, yada, yada. That's fine. So again, we need to press select or start and select buttons at the same time for at least 5 seconds. So we just hold those in. There we go. It's checking again, apparently. But then you'll be greeted with a progress bar. Once that gets to 100, I think the system automatically reboots, and you'll be presented with a screen, a setup screen, where you select languages, time zones, etc., like it was a brand new PlayStation. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put in this drive, this good drive, in the PlayStation that has, there we see now it's formatting, in the bad one down here. And then we're going to do a system reset to make this ready for sale. So it's done installing. I've moved the hard disk over, and after the installation is complete, you're greeted with this screen, which says, I don't know if you can read it, initial setup. So you select your languages, your time zones, etc., just like you had a brand new PlayStation out of the box and turn it on for the first time. And essentially what we want to do is make the one I am going to sell do the same thing. I wanted to delete all my saved data and all the settings, so whoever buys it will end up with the same screen when they turn it on for the first time. So I've switched over the cables and we are trying to boot. So this is actually booting the oh, so that's actually a surprise. I actually thought you could just switch over the hard disk and it would just act like it was the other system, but apparently this says, now that I've put in the good disk from my old PS into a new PS, it actually wants to reinstall. So, well, then we don't actually have to do a system restore. We can just reinstall, and then it's good to, well, it's ready to ship to whoever picks it up on eBay. So I think that's all for this video, actually. What have we covered? We have covered how to back up your save data, how to remove and insert a new hard drive in your PlayStation, and how to install the PlayStation operating system onto the disk with a USB stick. Like I've mentioned in the video, you'll find instruction on how to get the firmware and or the operating system, where to find that on the internet, and how to put it on a stick. It needs to be FAT32 formatted, and it needs to be in a folder called Sony, and in that there needs to be a folder called Update, as far as I remember. I'll double check it and put it in the description. So if you like this video, like the video, and click that subscribe button if you want to see more. And until next time, take care.